Hello, my lovely audience. You all are welcome to this lovely channel, Astropenetia. I am your astrologer, your spiritualist, Shivam. So, today, my lovely audience, we are going to talk about the new moon which has just come into the sign of Cancer, into its own sign of Cancer, and the nakshatra of Pushya. Now, the moon, which denotes your emotions, your feminine side, and which also speaks about your mind, right? Because the body is made up of more than 70% of water, and the water element is denoted by the planet moon, right? So this is why new moon readings and the full moon readings are very, very important. You have to learn about it. Hello everyone, hello my lovely audience. And now today the moon has come into its own sign of Cancer, the water sign of Cancer, where it feels at home, where it feels its relaxation. And being water itself and coming into the water sign, this moon can be very moody, right? Emotionally, uh, you know, overwhelmed, right? And it is into the nakshatra of Pushya. Pushya nakshatra literally means nurturing, right? Pushya means like a flower. This is a nakshatra, it is the most auspicious nakshatra of all the nakshatras, and it has the topmost qualities of planet Brihaspati and the planet Saturn. So this is a time to cleanse yourself. This is a time when you have to come into your own balance, right? And this is also a time when you have to bloom like a lotus, because the symbol of this nakshatra is lotus, and lotus grows in the midst of all the dirt, right? So it's the quality of this nakshatra that these people have to shine through their struggles in this time period. And it is a time when you will be demanding for, you know, nurturance, motherly affection, and what you're demanding, you have to exhibit that, you have to show that to others, right? And it is also time of emotional vulnerabilities and mood swings, right? You will activate your moody side. But on the other end, this is a time when you have to focus on your emotional aspect. It is a time when you have to focus on the truth, because it is ruled by the Brihaspati, right? Although Saturn is the planet ruling it, but it is ruled by Brihaspati, Lord of sacred speech, speaking the truth, right? And along with that, activating your spiritual side more, right? Because this nakshatra directly means to nourish, to strengthen up, to fortify yourself, and again to preserve all those qualities, and along with that protecting your emotional side, and after protecting it, multiplying the right things, right? And then again strengthening up, right? This is the whole nakshatra of Pushya about. And yes, along with this, in this journey, as a strong Jupiter is giving aspect to it, so obeying to your elders, your gurus, your teachers, right? Your advisors, well wishers, wise men of the family in this time period, right? Because divine wisdom will definitely help you in this time period, right? Because any kind of divine wisdom will be very, very helpful to you in this time period. It is a good time to work upon your comforts, your luxuries, and your sociability, right? Because Sun and Mercury will definitely create certain kind of communicative confusions, right? There can be miscommunication among partners, right? You may feel that your heart is heavily loaded in this time period, and trust me, no situation right now is triggering all those things. If you assess it rightfully, that no situation right now is activating all those things. It is the scars of the past which are coming up again and again, right? And you in this time period, you have to release your uh, you know you know rigid side. This is a time when you have to release your disheartening side, which the side which gets a lot disheartened by criticism, right? You have to leave your insecurities in this time period, right? Because this is the most auspicious nakshatra. Every new moon is a very lovely opportunity to leave your old self behind and start fresh, the way the moon is starting from zero and getting into its full bloom. It is a time for you to leave your old self behind and start fresh. Be a new person with this new moon, right? Hello Bhavna, hello. And be a new person with this new moon every time, right? And activating your loving side and activating your nurturing side, showing your affection to others will lay a very strong foundation in this journey of life, right? Show your calm, prosperous, beautiful side in this time period, right? You never know that how many scars people around you are holding in this time period, right? And understand it this way, that this nakshatra is all about staying into your rightful spirits. It's all about showing your true nature. It's all about being one with the universe, right? Being one with the universe or the supreme source, right? And this nakshatra means differently. This new moon reading or moon coming into the sign of Cancer and the nakshatra of Pushya means differently for each one of us, right? Starting from the fire signs till the water signs, and from the sign of Aries till the sign of Pisces, it means differently for each one of us, right? So starting with the fire sign people, right? What are the fire signs? The sign of Aries, the sign of Leo, and the sign of Sagittarius. For all these three signs, this new moon has come into your 4th house, 8th house and 12th house. This is a time to leave your toxic side behind, right? Words, relations, and even negativity with family can prop up in this time period. You have to leave all these toxic things, right? Any kind of toxic words which have troubled you, any relationship which is troubling you or putting you in a tight spot, making you anxious, and even any kind of negativity with the family, right? So you have to leave it behind. You have to burn it down. And this is a time when changes will be around the corner. You have to be acceptful for all the changes coming by, right? So this moon cycle can be very transformatory for the fire sign of Aries, Leo and Sagittarius. Keep a check on your expenses, all of you, right? The fire sign people. Your expenses are gonna increase, right? Unexpected expenses or troubles coming up, right? This can be a sign. And yes, changes are around the corner, and your secretive missions in this time period will succeed. Anything done in secret, anything done related to investigation, due diligence is gonna work in your favor, and your research is definitely moving into the right path. So those of you who are engaged into construction business, real estate, counselors, or working as nurses, doctors, and even into pharma, I would say that this is a good time period for you. Even educators, even educators, it's a good time period for you. Yes, speculative businesses, shares, trading, and all these activities, be aware of it, right? Do not put your money into it for this time period. And remember, my lovely audience, this is a very general reading, right? It depends on the placement of planets in your own birth chart, how they are placing, what is the time period, right? What dasha you are going through, in what nakshatras they are placing. You have to look into all these things while studying a birth chart. So it's a we have to consider many factors before giving a prediction, right? So for the fire sign people, generally for the ones working into construction, real estate, counseling, your education sector, as doctors, nurses, it's a good time for you, right? And yes, you can stay a bit aggressive and impulsive in this time period. Keep your temperament very, very calm. Try to burn a camphor during the night time, and along with that, lighting some sandalwood incense during the evening time to soothe the environment around your place, and taking the name of Lord Shiva, right, the supreme source of everything. And yes, leave your toxic side behind in this time period. So my good wishes to all my lovely fire sign people. Now next we are going to talk about the earth sign people. Now what are the earth signs? The sign of Taurus, the sign of Virgo, and the sign of Capricorn. For you people, your third house, your seventh house, and your 11th house is very active. This is a time when you have to stay in balance with your relationship, when you may experience a lot of moodiness with your partner, when you may experience lack of love or affection, and you may even look for certain alternates, right? This is a time to guard your secrets. This is a time to protect your sensitive side, right? By guarding your secrets, you are protecting your sensitive side. Balance your relationship in this time period, right? Whether it is with the family, whether it is with your cousins, your siblings, your friends, and your partner. Balance your relationship in this time period. Well, it is a lovely time to go for marketing related works, public dealings, and teaching. Hello Sakshi, hello, and public dealing and teaching. And stay balanced in your talks, because it might be that while communicating with your loved ones and people, you might speak of the things that you have to guard or what you have to not speak in front of them, right? So make sure that you are not drawn into your emotions all the way while talking about your things, and be balanced while talking to people around you. As your house of communication is very active, so anything related to artistry, dealing with people, and also accounting will work for you, and even teaching, in which you have to give advices, give mentor people, that is good for you in this time period, right? So you can go for all these activities in this time period, right? And another thing is that for the Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn sign people, I do see it this way, that your water signs in your public houses, your water signs and the planets placing over there will definitely create some kind of hustle in your houses, whether it is your relationship, whether it is your public dealing, or it is your relation with your siblings, right? And that will bring in certain lessons of life, because Jupiter is about to get retrograde from tomorrow, right? So be balanced in your relationship. I speak it again and again. And yes, do not lend your money to anyone in this time period. Do not give loans, do not lend your money, or do not straight away go for helping people, right? That money won't come back, right? And another thing is, you yourself may get financially tight in this time period. So be smart with managing your money in this time period, because your Mercury is going to shift on 30th for each one of us, and for the earth sign people that can be a trouble, right? And yes, Jupiter is strongly placing, so working on your connections. Jupiter is good to make connection at high end places, impressing upon your bosses, or dealing with financial experts, right? Or some kind of good advisors will be helpful to you in this time period. So best of luck to my lovely earth sign people. Now next we are going to talk about the air sign people. Now what are the air signs? The sign of Gemini, the most communicative sign and having diverse viewpoints. The sign of Libra, denoting balance, right? And the sign of Aquarius, right? One of the most humanitarian signs. For all these three signs, this is a time when your second house, your sixth house, and your 10th house is active. Boost your imagination. Give a boost to your imagination. Prayers for financial abundance will be very helpful in this time period. You might not feel financially abundant, or you might feel as if there is a luxury in your life, or you might feel as if you are not earning enough, or you're not able to do enough, right? And make sure that in this time period You have to feel abundant all the way, and stay focused in this time period. Focus on your work will help you to grow in this time, right? It is a good time to take decisions related to your work and bring in certain discipline and order in this time period, because lately you have not been very disciplined with your work, and you can stay a bit vocal, or I would say bit rough with your words while talking to people, and your talks can be real time in this time period, right? So do not be of a confronting nature in this time period. That can land you in trouble right now, right? So be soft, be gentle, be diplomatic with your words while talking to people, and do not try to hurt people around. Hello Vicky, hello, right? So do not try to hurt people around. And it is a good time if you engage yourself into deep breathing, into meditation, manifestations related to your finances, that will work for you. And simply chanting the name of Goddess Lakshmi will be very helpful in this time period. And for the manifestation part, I have already talked about it again and again, that always be clear in what you desire, right? Stay detached from any kind of negative emotions. Manifestations do not work when you are attaching them with negative emotions. And always visualize what you want in life. Always visualize, right? It has to have certain thread and connection to reality, right? It has to have certain thread and connection to reality. Even if not, you should always be very clear in what you desire. Detach yourself from any kind of negative emotions or things that make you feel unworthy, right? Be focused, right? And while you're being focused, and envision those things, right? Envision those things and affirm it again and again. If the thoughts are coming to your mind, affirm it again and again by repeating it, by speaking about it, right? And most importantly, always have faith in your vision. Always have confidence in whatever you are manifesting, right? And it should not come out of a sense of anxiety, but it should come out of your desire, right? All those things should come out of your sense of desire. And be consistent in your efforts, right? It shouldn't be that today you're doing it, right? There are no quick fix into anything, right? Whether it is making a habit or doing something, there are no quick fix. Habits take time over they take time. They need consistency every time, right? So be consistent and trust your journey always, right? Believe that you have a role to play in the society, and you have a meaningful role to play in the society. Always believe in these things. And for the air sign people, I see you financially and professionally growing in this time period. And also engage yourself in some kind of seva, or doing good to the society, returning it back to the society, because the aspect of Jupiter demands this thing, that either obeying your gurus or teachers, or engaging yourself into some kind of spiritual act or any kind of social act will be very, very helpful for your finances. It's like a lottery, putting in $1, $10 into something and getting back 5 times, 10 times, right? So you have to understand it might come in different ways, which you might not even imagine, right? So best of luck to my lovely air sign people. You people rock. Now next we are going to talk about the most influenced sign in this new moon cycle, in this Shravana Amavasya, in this Pushya Nakshatra new moon. The most influenced signs, the water sign people, one of the most emotional, loving, empathetic. They are natural born healers. Now the signs are the sign of your Cancer, the sign of Scorpio, and the sign of your Pisces. For all these 3 signs, right? The whole focus is on your 1st house, 5th house, 9th house. Now this new moon will bring in a lot of moodiness. This new moon will bring in a lot of transformation, and that transformation will lead you to growth. And the moon is placing in the sign of Cancer in its own sign. This is a time to uplift your personality. This is a time to grow yourself as a human being. And this is a time to self introspect. Look into your heart, right? Look into your real time heart, not the one which is affected by all the world, right? Which is affected by, you know, this is sometimes we are just responsive. We are not our real self. It is just, we are just responsive, right? All the time. And it is a time when you have to engage yourself into meditation, into spirituality. This is the time when you have to leave the heaviness from your heart, because your heart chakra blockage will trigger all the anxieties, and it is important for you to release your anxiousness in this time period, because the houses of Punya, that is the past lives, are active in this time period. And even your house of luck is very much active in this time period, right? So this is a time when your portals related to your healing are opened, right? You may experience certain troubles in this lifetime, whether it can be relationship, it can be your marriage, it can be your finances, or you may have a very troubled relation with your progeny, your kids, right? It can be that way, right? You may feel that, what wrong I have done. Now this nakshatra is the time when you will engage in yourself into meditation that will unblock it, right? And smart ones have definitely booked a reading with me, right, on all these things. And yes, and making sure that in this time period you are praying for forgiveness. And for your heart chakra, simply, right, taking deep breathing in with a smiling face, right? Always absorb optimism from the universe, right? Attract optimistic things. That is the most important thing in you, right? Be a magnet of optimism, right? Catch optimistic things, right? Even if someone says you that, hey, why are you smiling so much today? Or why are you so happy? That's a natural state. And what we have accepted is being dull-faced, being serious all the time, and showing your, tough side all the time. That we consider as, something professional, right? And when the person is goofy or when the person is relaxed, we say, we think it that way, that, something is off in him or her, right? So showing your joyous side, easy side, and releasing the anxiety from your heart is important. It is important in this time period. Simply chanting the mantra of Om Yam Om to unblock your heart chakra. I'll repeat it. The mantra is Om Yam Om, 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 right? Chanting this mantra for 21 times, right? Chanting this mantra for 21 times. And as I have said it again and again, that it depends on the placement of planets in your own birth chart. At what placements the planets are placing in your birth chart, what are the conjunction degrees of the planet, and what time period you are going through. This reading is a very general reading. You have to understand about it, right? And yes, please be patient. I'll be talking about all the things. Don't worry about it. And for the water sign people, it is important that in this time you have to release all your anxiety, right? You have to grow from your own shell, right? You have to grow out of your own shell, right? And you have to excel in this time period. Since the Jupiter is aspecting from the water sign of Pisces, it's more of a spiritual journey that will also liberate your finances, your logics, and your courageous side, because Mercury and your Sun is placing along with it, right? The soul and the mind has come together to, to take you forward in this lifetime. And yes, your 5th house and 9th house are very active, so there can be certain travels coming up in this time period, or you may take up new coursework, new learning or new lessons in this time period. And yes, for the ones working into education, for the ones working as artists or the ones working as presenters, again it is a good time for you people, right? And now we are gonna start with readings of each one of the signs, starting from the sign of Aries till the sign of Cancer. And I'll be saving this video and I'll come back again to have to take up the readings for each one of the signs. So stay tuned. God bless you. Have a very lovely day, and do share this video with your loved ones, because recently people have not been sharing that much, right? And they want to keep the information to themselves, right? So make sure that you are sharing my work, you're sharing my video and spreading love, right, all the time. So I'm going to save this video, and in the next video we are going to talk about each one of the signs, and along with that I'll also be giving you the remedies. So have a lovely day, my audience. God bless you. Take care. Enjoy your day. Bye.